You've been running on fumes for 6 months, maybe longer. You know it. You just haven't said it out loud yet, rather. Excuse me. The alarm goes off. You don't move. Not because you're tired. You've been tired before. This is different. This is the absence of want. The gym used to pull you there. Now it's just another obligation you're negotiating with yourself about. And you're telling yourself it's temporary. It's the season, the quarter, the raise, the launch. But here's what you won't admit. You're waiting for the feeling to come back. The spark, the fire, the version of you that didn't need to think about it. And it's not coming. Because motivation isn't missing. It's dead. And what's left is the thing that you've been avoiding looking at for years. Your system. Or more accurately, the absence of one. Welcome back to Iron Suits, where strength wears a crown. I am Marwan Killu. And if what I just described felt familiar, this episode is going to hit close to home, because what's really happening here isn't about motivation at all. Let me say something that you already know but haven't connected yet. Everyone in your business came from a system you didn't have to feel your way through. Your revenue doesn't depend on you waking up inspired. Your team doesn't function because you're motivated. Your operations don't collapse the day you're not in the mood. You build infrastructure, processes, repeatability, automation, things that run whether you feel like it or not. And yet, your body runs on the opposite. It runs on mood, on momentum, on the emotional weather of your week. You go to the gym when you feel good. You eat clean when you're in control. You skip when you're stressed, when you're traveling, when the day gets complicated. And you've gotten away with it. Because motivation is a hell of a drug when it's working. It makes randomness feel like discipline. It makes inconsistency feel like effort. It makes you believe you're doing more than you are. You keep thinking, if I just cared enough, this wouldn't be hard. But motivation is alone, and the interest comes due when the environment shifts. Here's the pattern you're inside right now. January, you're locked in, you're training 5 days a week, you're meal prepping, you're sleeping 7 hours, you feel unstoppable. March, you're still going 4 days a week now. Meals are a little bit looser, sleep a little shorter, but you're holding it together. June, you're negotiating. 3 days if you're lucky. Eating depends on the day. You're telling yourself it's fine because you're doing something. By September, you stopped. Not officially. You didn't decide to quit. You just drifted. And now you're here, months later, wondering where it all went. And here's what you tell yourself. I just need to get motivated again. No. You need a system that doesn't care if you're motivated, because motivation is the least reliable variable in your life. And you build a body strategy that depends entirely on it. Let me tell you what happened. You didn't lose discipline. You lost structure. And without structure, discipline has nothing to attach to. Discipline isn't a personality trait. It's not willpower. It's not toughness. Discipline is a decision removal. It's knowing what happens next without having to choose. And when motivation dies, every single action becomes a choice. Do I train today? What do I eat? How long do I go? Do I skip this? Can I make it up tomorrow? Every meal, every session, every hour of sleep. And that's not discipline. That's exhausting. You're running a Fortune 500 body on a lemonade stand infrastructure. Here's the truth you don't want to hear. You don't have a training program. You have a list of workouts you do when conditions are favorable. You don't have a nutrition system. You have good intentions that collapse under decision fatigue. You have sleep you hope to get if the night goes well. And it worked for a while, because when motivation is high, randomness looks like discipline. You tell yourself, I've done harder things than this. And now motivation is gone. And all that's left is the infrastructure. And there isn't any. You're sitting in your office right now, managing a P&L, a team, a pipeline, 3 verticals, and 2 partnerships. And none of it runs on how you feel. Your CFO doesn't send you a Slack message asking, hey, are you motivated to do payroll this week? Your product launch doesn't wait for you to feel inspired. Your clients don't get service based on emotional bandwidth. It runs because you built systems that remove the need for daily decision making. But your body is still running on vibes, and vibes don't scale. Let me paint you a picture. You're in Denver, for a conference, 3 days, back-to-back sessions, dinner with investors, hotel gym you've never seen before. No meals planned, sleep compressed. Motivation says, just get through it. You'll restart Monday. A system says, training happens Tuesday morning, 7 a.m., lower body, 40 minutes. Meals are pre-ordered through the hotel. Sleep is non-negotiable, which means no late drinks. Motivation is a feeling. A system is a decision you made once. And here's the difference. Motivation needs the conditions to be right. A system runs regardless of the conditions. Motivation works when life is stable. A system works when life is chaotic. And your life is never stable. So why the heck are you still depending on motivation? You've been confusing effort with infrastructure. You think because you trained hard before, you have a system. You don't. You have a history of effort. And effort without architecture is just noise. Let me ask you something. If I took a look at your calendar right now, could I tell when you train? Could I tell you what you're training? Could I tell you what you're eating tomorrow? Could I tell you how you're recovering? Or is it all flexible, responsive, dependent on how the week shakes out? Because that's not a system, that's hope. And hope doesn't survive Q4. You keep waiting for the week that's calm enough to start again. Here's a shift. You don't need more discipline. You need fewer decisions. You don't need more motivation. You need more automation. Your body doesn't need you to care more. It needs you to think less. Because every time you have to decide whether to train, you've already lost. Every time you have to figure out what to eat, you're one bad day away from pizza. Every time sleep is optional, it becomes negotiable. And negotiation is where systems die. So let me tell you what a system looks like. It's not complicated. It's the opposite. It's training 3-4 days a week. Same days, same time, same location, no variance. It's eating the same breakfast every single day, the same lunch structure, the same dinner formula. It's going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time, no exceptions for the mood. It's boring, like religiously boring. And that's the point, because boring is reliable. Boring doesn't require motivation. Boring runs when you're tired, stressed, traveling, or burned out. Boring is the only thing that survives contact with your actual life. And you've been avoiding boring because you think it's beneath you. You think systems are for people who need hand-holding. You think you're disciplined enough to just make it happen. But here you are, months out of rhythm, wondering why effort stopped working. Effort stopped working because effort was never the system. Motivation stopped working because motivation was never the foundation. And now you're exposed. Not as weak, not as undisciplined, as someone who built a body strategy with no infrastructure. You wonder if everyone else is just faking it better than you, and infrastructure doesn't care how you feel. It just runs. So let me give you an example. For me, I eat the same breakfast, I eat the same lunch, and it's pretty much the same dinner. Okay, I only vary the protein sources. The same carbs for dinner. Breakfast is eggs, 4 eggs, egg whites, and I've got 10% yogurt, fat-free yogurt, oatmeal and milk, and blueberries. That's my breakfast. My lunch is white rice when I'm training, some, what's it called? Sourdough bread as my carbs as well, venison, and what else I have? A couple of pieces of fruit when I'm training. If I'm not training, I swap the fruit for some nuts. Okay, I'm still having oatmeal, and I'm not having white rice. For dinner, it's sweet potatoes always, with whatever protein source, whether it's chicken, whether it's beef. It's the same thing. I train Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, pretty much the same time every week. I go to bed at 10 o'clock. I'm up by 6 o'clock, if not earlier. Right? And there is room. Don't get me wrong. There is room as when I do go out and have a social life. Then if I decide that day that I have whatever I want to have, whether it's pizza or burger or ice cream or birthday cake, then I'll have it. But that's pretty much my structure, and it works because it gets me results. It's boring, yeah. It doesn't mean that I don't stay up and watch Netflix and Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. When my 18-year-old son comes back from uni, we'll just sit and watch, maybe until like 11 p.m., maybe 11:30 p.m. on the odd day. But consistency over time is what I do. I go to bed at 10 and up at 6. Okay. Here's what you need to do next. Nothing. You don't need tactics right now. You need to sit with this. You need to realize that the body you want doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from deciding once, building structure, and letting that structure run without you. Because a version of you that's motivated is unreliable. The version of you that has a system, he's inevitable. When motivation dies, systems are exposed. And right now, you're exposed. The question is whether you're ready to build something that doesn't need you to feel a certain way to work. Because your business doesn't run on how you feel, your body shouldn't either. That's all I've got for today. I hope this video was helpful, or rather this audio, if you're listening to it on podcast, if you're watching it on YouTube as well. Leave me a review on iTunes if you found it helpful. Share it with another person, another leader, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And make sure you follow me on my socials. I am on Facebook under Marwan Killu, LinkedIn, Marwan Killu Fitness, YouTube, if you want to watch this video rather than listen to it, under Marwan Killu. And subscribe so you get notifications when a new episode goes live. All right, until next time, have a good day. Talk to you later.